Let's take up this question. For the following compounds, write structural formula and IUPAC name for all possible isomers having the number of double or triple bond as indicated. First one is C4H8 with one double bond, C5H8 with one triple bond. Isomers of C4H8 having one double bond are, first one is but1-ene. Here four carbon atoms are in straight chain. Double bond is after first carbon, so this is but1-ene. But1-ene will not show geometrical isomerism because carbon which is attached to double bond contains both the atoms same. So it cannot show geometrical isomerism. But2-ene will show geometrical isomerism. This is but2-ene. Then we call it cis but2-ene because two methyl groups are on same side and both the hydrogen are on the same side. So this is cis isomer. We call it cis but2-ene. Now we have trans but2-ene. In trans but2-ene, two methyl groups will be on opposite side. Same way hydrogen are also on opposite side. So it is called trans but2-ene. The fourth isomer will be 2-methyl prop1-ene. This is branch chain alkene. Double bond is after first carbon and methyl group is attached to second carbon. So we call it 2-methyl prop1-ene. These are isomers of C4H8 containing one double bond. Next we are taking C5H8 containing one triple bond. The first one is pent1-ine. Why pent1-ine? Because after first carbon there is triple bond and total carbon atoms are 5. So we call it pent1-ine. If we shift the triple bond after second carbon, it is called pent2-ine. So triple bond is after second carbon atom. We call it pent2-ine because total carbon atoms are 5. The next isomer 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 3-methyl but1-ine. The methyl group is at third carbon. We call it 3-methyl. Triple bond is after first carbon, so we write but1-ine. Next question, write IUPAC names of the following products obtained by ozonolysis of the following compound. First one is pent2-ene, second one is 3,4-dimethyl hap3-ene, 2-ethyl but1-ene, and 1-phenyl but1-ene. The first one we are taking pent2-ene. Remember, bond will break up here and we are reacting with ozone in dichloromethane as a solvent at 196 Kelvin, followed by reduction with zinc and water. The products formed will be aldehydes and ketones. This particular group will change to aldehyde, so we get propanol. This particular group will get converted to aldehyde, we get ethanol. So here, pent2-ene on ozonolysis followed by reduction gives you propanol and ethanol. And whenever you get propanol and ethanol as the product, it means double bond is after second carbon in alkene and total carbon atom are 5. Next we are going to take up 3,4-dimethyl hap3-ene. Bond will break up here. We are again reacting with ozone in presence of dichloromethane as a solvent, 196 Kelvin, followed by reduction with zinc and water. So this group will change to keto group. Why? Because this is attached to two alkyl groups. This group will also change to keto group. We will get the 2 moles of ketone. The first ketone is pentane-2-on. It contains 5 carbon atoms. Second ketone is butane-2-on. It contains 4 carbon atoms. Total carbon atom in the given compound are 9. And total carbon atom in 2 ketones are also 9. So we are getting two products, pentane-2-on and butane-2-on. Let's take up ozonolysis of 2-ethyl but1-ene. It will be ozonolysis followed by reduction with zinc and water. This particular double bond CH2 will change to HCHO. That is, methanol will be formed. This carbon will change to keto. And this keto group is at third carbon atom. So we will get pentane-3-on. So two products are obtained, pentane-3-on and methanol. Next compound is 1-phenyl but1-ene. This is phenyl, 1-phenyl but1-ene is the compound. When you carry out ozonolysis followed by reduction, this particular group will change to aldehyde and we get benzaldehyde. And this particular group also changes to aldehyde and there are 3 carbon atoms, so we get propanol. So the two products obtained are propanol and benzaldehyde. Next question, an alkene A on ozonolysis gives mixture of ethanol and pentane 3-on. Write the structure and IUPAC name of A. Now these are two products. One is pentane 3-on and other is ethanol. It means double bond should be between this CH and this carbon. Double bond is between CH and carbon. So we get this compound as 3-ethyl because the third position ethyl group is attached. Pent-2-ene. 5 carbon atom in longest chain and double bond is after second carbons. It is called 3-ethyl pent-2-ene. This compound on ozonolysis followed by reduction will give you two products, pentane 3-on because this carbon will change to ketone, and ethanol because this carbon will change to aldehyde. Next question, an alkene A contains 3 carbon-carbon single bond, 8 CH sigma bonds and 1 carbon-carbon pi bond. A on ozonolysis gives 2 moles of an aldehyde of molar mass 44U. Write the IUPAC name of A. An aldehyde with molar mass of 44U is ethanol. So write 2 moles of ethanol on side by side. This is 2 mole of ethanol on side by side. Remove these 2 oxygen and join this CH with this CH with double bond. So we get but2-ene. So but2-ene on ozonolysis followed by reduction will give you 2 moles of ethanol. So A is but2-ene and it contains 3 carbon-carbon bonds, 8 carbon CH sigma bonds and 1 carbon-carbon pi bond. Next question, propanol and pentane 3-on are the ozonolysis product of alkene. Write the structural formula of alkene. Here products are pentane 3-on and propanol. Remove this oxygen and change this to double bond. We get this compound. If you want to name this compound, this will be 3-ethyl hex 3-ene. Start counting from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So at third carbon there is ethyl group. So we have written 3-ethyl hex 3-ene. That is the alkene which on ozonolysis followed by reduction will give us propanol and pentane 3-on. Next question, draw cis and trans isomers structures for hex 2-ene. Which isomers will have higher boiling point and why? This is cis hex 2-ene. Why it is cis? Because hydrogen, both the hydrogen are on same side, and alkyl groups are different but they are on same side. Cis hex 2-ene will have higher dipole moment because dipoles are not getting cancelled, and therefore the higher dipole moment means more polarity. More polarity means more van der Waals force of attraction or dipole-dipole interaction. Therefore higher boiling point. In trans isomer, these dipoles are in opposite direction. So they get cancelled, not completely, but dipole moment decreases. So why they don't get cancelled? Because groups are different. Isomer trans hex 2-ene will have lower dipole moment. Lower dipole moment means lower polarity, lower van der Waals force of attraction or dipole-dipole attraction. Lower boiling point will be there. So cis isomer will have higher boiling point than trans isomer. Cis isomer will have higher dipole moment than trans isomer. Next we are going to take up explain why the following systems are not aromatic. First one, this particular carbon is sp3 hybridized, whereas all other carbons are sp2 hybridized. So due to the presence of sp3 hybridized carbon, the system is not planar. It does contain 6 pi electrons, 2, 4, 6 pi electrons, but the system is not fully conjugated. Conjugated means alternate double bond, and all the 6 pi electrons do not form a single cyclic electron cloud. In simple words, 6 pi electrons are not delocalized. That's why it is not a aromatic compound. Second example, we are taking this one. Here we have 4 pi electrons. So it does not satisfy 4n plus 2 pi electrons rule. And this carbon is sp3 hybridized, whereas other carbons are sp2 hybridized. So this is not planar. It cannot be aromatic. It behaves like a diene. Another compound we have, and here all the carbon are sp2 hybridized, so it is planar, and if we write its structure, it is tub shaped. So cyclooctatetraene is not planar but tub shaped. It does not have planar structure. It should be planar, but it has tub shaped. And secondly, it has got 8 pi electrons, and it should have 6 pi electrons or 10 pi electrons for becoming to be aromatic. So it is not aromatic because it does not have 4n plus 2 pi electrons. The planar cyclotetraene is, however, anti-aromatic, the planar one. Let's take up the question, what effect does branching of an alkane chain has on its boiling point? As the branching increases, the surface area of alkane approaches that of sphere. Since sphere has minimum surface area, therefore van der Waals force of attractions are minimum, hence boiling point of alkane decreases with increase in branching. Next question, addition of HBr to propene yields 2-bromopropane. While in presence of benzoyl peroxide, the same reaction gives 1-bromopropane. Explain and give mechanism. Addition of HBr to propene is an ionic electrophilic addition reaction in which electrophile, that is H positive ion, first adds to give a more stable secondary carbocation. Whereas in the second, the carbocation is rapidly attacked by nucleophile Br negative to give 2-bromopropane. The first step is heterolytic fission between HBr resulting in the formation of H positive ion and Br negative ion. Now H positive ion is electrophile and it will attack this carbon, making secondary carbocation which is more stable. This will become positive because pi electrons have shifted to this carbon which will form a bond with H positive ion. So secondary carbocation being more stable will react with nucleophile Br negative, and this step is fast. It will result in the formation of 2-bromopropane. Why this step is fast? Because ions react fastest. In presence of benzoyl peroxide, the reaction is still electrophilic, but the electrophile here is Br radical, that is free radical, which is obtained by action of benzoyl peroxide on HBr. Benzyl peroxide being symmetrical undergoes homolytic fission and result in the formation of benzoxy free radical which are unstable. They break down to phenyl free radical and carbon dioxide. Now phenyl free radical induces homolytic fission in HBr. H radical combines with C6H5 radical, phenyl free radical to form benzene, and Br radical is generated. Now Br radical attacks propene. Propene will undergo homolytic fission. Br radical will attach to primary carbon, leading to the formation of secondary free radical which is more stable. Secondary free radical now again reacts with HBr which undergoes homolytic fission. This H radical combines with this CH radical to result in the formation of 1-bromopropane with the major product in this case. Let's take up this question. Write down the products of ozonolysis of 1,2-dimethylbenzene, that is orthoxylene. How does the result support Kekulé structure of benzene? So first we write this structure of benzene. Orthoxylene is resonance hybrid of these two structures. So first we take the products with this structure. Here on ozonolysis followed by zinc and water, the double bonds will break. When this bond breaks, this group changes to keto. This is CH3, CH3, CO, CHO. This group changes to CH3, CO, CHO. So 2 moles of methyl glyoxal is formed. And from here we get CHO. From here we get CHO. So 1 mole of glyoxal is formed. If we take this structure of orthoxylene, then bonds will break here. Double bonds will break here. This results in the formation of CH3, C double bond O, C double bond O, CH3. That is 1,2-dimethyl glyoxal. And here you will get CHO, here you will get CHO, here you will get CHO, here you will get CHO. 2 moles of glyoxal and 1 mole of 1,2-dimethyl glyoxal. Thus, in all, 3 products are formed. Since all the 3 products cannot be obtained from any one of the 2 Kekulé structure, this shows that orthoxylene is a resonance hybrid of 2 Kekulé structure 1 and 2.